Help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content.
So sometimes I'll watch a game, I'll think somebody played terrible. I look at the film, I realize that no, it wasn't as bad as I thought. There were some other factors that were slowing down the progress of whatever that player was doing. There are some times where I think a player plays good, and then I watch the tape, and there's some positives still to take away from what that player did, but the tape doesn't paint as nice of a picture that I thought it would from watching the broadcast view of it live. This is one of those situations with Shedeur's tape this week where the tape is not going to be as friendly as the television copy was. I think there were some mistakes here by Shedeur, definitely some plays that Shedeur wants back. There was also some progress made by him, but we're going to focus on what Shedeur could do better going forward, how he can make his next start his best start. But certainly if you're looking for a fluff piece, this is not going to be it, right? I don't think it's going to be a hit piece or anything like that, but it's certainly not going to be all positive for Shedeur in this video. We're going to talk about what he did in this game in just a second and look at the all 22. But real quick, want to thank my sponsor, Sleeper. Real quick, just want to let you guys know Sleeper has a new offer here. They're offering a free $20 entry, no deposit required. And also, if you're a first-time user, you also will receive a 100% match on up to $100 when you use the promo code Worst Take. Again, $20 free, no deposit required. Plus, first-time users also receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Join Sleeper. All right, so we're going to look at the tape here. First play I want to look at, third and 3, my bad, in the first quarter, 10 minutes left to go. And let's just let this play out, and then I will go into the breakdown of what I care about in this play. All right, so right here, the guy you want to watch is Jerry Jeudy. He's the one who pops open at the end. He's right here on this, in this 3-man formation. And he does a really good job getting open here, and then does an even better job with his hips to get into a very dangerous spot for the San Francisco defense. Shedeur comes back to this a little late, and he sees it. He throws it. Not an accurate throw. Now, again, it was 40-mile-per-hour wind gust, 20-mile-per-hour winds consistently, so it was not a perfect condition for playing football in the winter time. But as many people reminded me when Dylan was out there, and I pointed this out, this is kind of what the expectation of the weather is going to be for Cleveland until they open that new dome. And even then, you're still going to play Pittsburgh. You're still going to play Cincinnati. You're going to have to deal with elements in the AFC North. So yeah, just a missed throw here. There is a question of when could you have worked back to Jeudy? I think Judy's on the far side of this progression here. But then I look at Shedeur's eyes. And if you look at Shedeur's eyes early on, he's on this half of the field. I don't know what could have happened in the structure of this play for Shedeur to look at Jerry Jeudy right here. He is still open. I don't know if that's going to be as big of a play, but he's still open here. I think he's waiting for David to come out of his break. He gets off of David. Then I think he goes, this is where I think he goes 1, 2, and then he works back to 3. I'm actually fine with that progression. Just want a better ball here. One of the rare opportunities where Shedeur gets to launch a football from a very clean pocket. So, I mean, watch here from the end zone angle. You're going to see Shedeur is able to kind of throw this from a clean base, not really disturbed. So you expect to have a perfect ball here. Great job by Posick. Look at this. Posick just drills this man. Good help by Teller. Great job by Posick. Browns give him really good protection on this play. So, I mean, clear as day passing lane to go find Jerry Jeudy here for a big play. Gotta make that throw. You're not going to get that clean of an opportunity, that open of a wide receiver very often. You just got to hit that. I don't mind the decision on 3rd and 3 because look at how butt booty naked open Jerry Jeudy is. I mean, like wide open here. Look at that. This does not require a perfect throw, right? He is booty naked open. You just gotta, like, even if he has to slow down a little bit, he's gonna be able to get there. You just gotta get the ball within reach, and unfortunately, this is uncatchable. Gotta hit that one. That's a layup. You gotta hit that one. That is a layup right there. All right, next play I want to look at first quarter, 6 minutes, 55 seconds, 1st and 10. They bring Fanon into motion here, and he throws this to Gage Larvadon. Like the design here, right? Move the linebacker. They move the linebacker with this motion here to go and chase Fanon, which opens a little void here for Larvadon to enter into. Really makes it a basic read for Shedeur here. So they simplify it 1-2, right? Good design, good call. You want a little bit better of a throw there from Shedeur. You should have there should be no reason for Gage to have to go up and get this ball here. I'll give him a little bit of slack because there is pressure up front. But, you want that to be so that Larvadon can get up north, because when you're throwing behind the sticks, right? When you're throwing behind the sticks and you want to get that conversion, even though it's only 1st down, but you want to get that conversion. You want to just make sure he can turn up field as soon as possible, right? Gotta give him a better ball there, but other than that, really nice design by Reese and Stefanski there. All right, 2nd and 8, first quarter still. All right, so this one's a bad play for Shedeur. I know there's been that clip of Jerry Jeudy being upset with Shedeur on the sideline. And people are making a big deal out of it, right? Shedeur's kind of the first parasocial quarterback, so people are going to react to anything involving him like they're related to him. But it's not really a big deal. Just a vet trying to make it clear of like, hey, I expect to get the ball here. And Jerry's right. He should have got the ball here, right? So why is this a poor play? Let's look at it. So again, first half, 2nd and 8 here. You have Jerry Jeudy here. And watch Jerry Jeudy on his route. Gets to a spot, thinks his hips, thinks into that zone. He recognizes his zone, and then look how Jerry Jeudy finds the space and the void in his zone. This ball should be going to Jerry Jeudy because Jerry Jeudy is butt booty naked open. This is the 2nd time in the game we've looked at it where Jerry Jeudy is butt booty naked open. And I get it. There's not a lot of patience going around for Jerry Jeudy. He's done a lot of dumb shit this year. He hasn't been very productive. But this is a lot of space to get this ball here to Jerry, right? Jerry sits. We can see that corner's taking his man upfield. So that route's going north. This is a huge void for Jerry Jeudy, right? Like we're talking about maybe this player having a chance to get to it, but any reasonable throw here, just let it loose, get it to Jerry Jeudy. That's an easy conversion. You're at the 25. You're at least kicking a field goal. What you don't want to do is this, right? Which is bail a clean pocket. This was a clean pocket, right? This only becomes a pressure because Shedeur leaves it. But right now, they're handling business right now. The offensive line is handling business right now. There's really no need to bail. You have somebody open. But what I think happened here was Shedeur really wanted that 9, right? This is what I think happened. Shedeur really wanted this 9 here. And once he saw that that wasn't open and this wasn't open, he never went to this. He decided he was going to roll out and try to make something happen. So he became his own third progression, right? So he went 1, 2, 3, where he's just going to roll out, try to make something happen. Instead of going 1, 2, and then maybe this is an alert, right? Right. And then check, just throw it out of bounds is the 3. But this should be an alert. Unless you see something pre-snap to go to it. You really shouldn't go to it here, right? You get it in motion. You think you might have a chance here. So I can understand thinking you might have a chance for it because look at the pre-snap alignment, too high safety. You got this guy showing man. It looks like this is off coverage on this side. You motion over. Not really showing any man indicators on the motion. So that should be the first, like, hey, maybe it's not what I think it is, right? Because you notice how there's really no man indicator here because it's zone. So you run the motion there, it kind of exposes in the motion that it's zone. So right there, once you see nobody follow him, you should be asking the questions like, hey, is this what I think it is? And then immediately off the snap, once you see this guy's hips open up and carry downfield, you know immediately that that's zone coverage, right? And that's what Jerry Jeudy saw. He saw his hips open up and decided to sit, did a really good job recognizing the coverage there. But yeah, he should know right here that this is not man. That looks not there. The alert is off, if there was an alert at all. And then Jerry Jeudy is the guy you want to go to first. And then you do your check down. And then you could throw that out of bounds, keep that as your 3 if you want to. But he wanted that. He wanted that deep shot right here. He wanted this right here. I'm pretty sure of it. I think he thought he could have Gage. Didn't get Gage. Saw that the check down was covered. Didn't like it. So, all right, let me see if I can make something happen. Throws this ball to Fannin. Nothing. Again, these are easy throws, right? These are easy plays. And again, I get it. It's windy. Throwing the ball downfield, it's not going to be easy, but I mean, go back a couple plays before in the same exact wind conditions. It's not like he had an issue getting the ball downfield, right? Like he got this one off earlier in the game. You can see the wind swirling if you're looking at the flags. He was able to get this one downfield. So the wind's not affecting him that much, that he can't make a basic throw to Jerry Jeudy right there. So yeah, you gotta do a better job recognizing what they're throwing at you and making a better decision of there. All right, 2nd and 11, end of the first quarter. This is that ball that got tipped, right, where he threw it to Isaiah Bond here. I think he lucked out because I don't know how that would have went for him if he got a clean release off. Yeah, I don't know how that would have went for him. Like, I think Isaiah does win here. And maybe that'd have been fine. It's hard to tell here what would have happened. What I can tell is you had a really nice opportunity here with Harold Fannin as well, right? That developed a little quicker. So let's watch Harold Fannin on this route. So there was a big opportunity there. Harold Fannin on a corner does a great job getting off the linebacker that's on him. I'm wondering, I don't know how Harold wasn't the number 1 on the progression here, if I'm being honest, right? So it makes me hard to believe that he's not part of the progression here. Because look, they're bringing Harold off the line to run a route because they think they can get the mismatch on a linebacker. I think that's exactly what they're trying to scheme up here, is getting that linebacker one-on-one with Harold in space in this look, right? This feels game plan to me, right? You want to get a linebacker in space in that look, because you know that, yeah, this feels game plan to me, right? So yeah, this feels game plan to me. I don't know how we didn't go to Harold here. Because you could get this off the Harold right now before the pressure even gets to you, right? Clean pocket, a lot of space. He's already open. That ball's got to get out. You got to get that ball out right there, right? Off the line, that feels game plan. Linebacker on your very, very talented tight end who leads the team in receptions right now. Don't know how that's not the first progression there. So like he denied this one to go to Bond. Now Bond does win his release here, so it's not terrible. He ends up being lucked out because Bond does a good job of winning his release. It's just, I like the Fannin window a lot easier in a windy game, right? We talked about it. It's windy outside. Maybe this is a throw that you want to make more, than trying to lift this one downfield into a tighter window. Yeah, I think that ball should have went to Fannin there, right? It ended up being completed, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. But I think you want, game plan wise, right here is when you get this right here, this look, if you're Shedeur and you're looking at this, which you have to imagine he is, right here, I mean, like, I don't know why this ball doesn't go to Fannin, right? He's just throw that ball to that spot. He's going to be there. Fannin's looking, begging for the ball, like, hey, man. But Shedeur worked off of him. I don't know what he didn't like there. So again, it's hard for me to imagine Fannin's not number one in the progression here. I could be wrong. But if he's watching that early, what didn't he like here? I mean, there's nothing telling you can't go to him. We can watch it in real time, Yeah, it doesn't get more open than that right in front of you. Got to see that. Sometimes I think with Shedeur, and look, I had this same issue with Cam Ward when I was looking at his tape, where sometimes it feels like Shedeur, he wants to will a deep ball into existence, whether it's in structure or in phase or not. And that desire can get the better of you so easily with quarterbacks in the league. You see it all the time when you're watching on Sundays. And I think he has to shake a little bit of that. Like, it's nice that you like to go downfield. That's a change of what we've had, right? And I think a lot of people enjoy that change. But also, you can accomplish the same by just working the structure in the offense sometimes. Because right here, that's going to be a huge play. It doesn't get much more open than this right here. Right? Look at that. Look at that space. There's nobody there. And then you throw this ball, it almost gets tipped. It does get hit while you throw it, right? Also, we can look at the protection here. You've been dealing with a shaky offensive line. Like, what about this? You got a clean pocket, clean release. Why hold this and wait for that downfield when you got 44 right there over top of the ball? Especially once you see the underneath linebacker take the drag. Like right here, this picture right here, once he shifts that weight, that ball should be automatic out. Let's get it. But instead, he sees that right there and then works to Isaiah Bond and then lets that loose. I don't understand why he did that. Maybe there's a reason. And it's within the structure of the offense, and that's all fine and good, and that's exactly what Tommy Rees wants him to do, and there's a reason for it. I cannot find out that reasoning right now by watching it. This is a question not really for Shedeur, but for the Browns offense. Is the default here always, and maybe this is just the default for this play in general, but is the default here always to just check it down once you get the pressure in the front? Or is this, I think Shedeur drifts a little bit more than he needs to here. Right? Because I think he's supposed to landmark, because what they're doing, they're blocking and releasing. So, oops. And then release to the flat. So I would imagine if you're doing that, you're not really rolling out towards that because you're going to roll right into that pressure. You're telling him, hey, roll and then landmark here, right? Instead, he rolls and then keeps rolling, right? He never really stops. You can see him drift a little bit here, right? Like I think he's supposed to stop right here, plant, and then make a decision. But instead, he keeps 1, 2, 3. He keeps stepping and drifting towards the contact. So this is the pocket drift that everybody talks about here, right? I don't think this is a rollout because, again, the key here on the rollout is the protection. If they're sending David out and David's holding that block there, then maybe it's a rollout. But David releasing to the flat tells me it's not, that he's supposed to plant within the landmark here. That would make a lot more sense because if he does plant here, that gives him a nice window to get this ball to Gage Larvin. Instead, he has pressure in his face because he's about 2-3 yards over where he's supposed to be. That ball should have went to Gage, though. Maybe, again, this is exactly how they want it run. If that's the case, got serious questions for the Browns offensive staff. But I find it hard to imagine that's the case, right? I think because you could see his momentum stopping. Like when he rolls, he rolls. He's not really shy about it. Right here, you can see him stopping and then the little baby drift steps, right? He ends up outside the hash, running right into a pressure, making that DN's life easy. But he has the window right there. Again, young player, you're going to see some mistakes pop up like this. Not the biggest deal in the world. I don't want anybody to use this and freak out and say, oh, this is why Shedeur doesn't need to play anymore. He sucks. He's terrible. No, it's just, hey, look, every rookie quarterback is going to have some learning moments. And there's a lot of learning on this tape, right? Another question here. So the guy I want you to watch on this rep, is Dylan Sampson. So watch him. He's right there. So Dylan running this, right? That's what he's running here. It's 2nd and 10. You're down 7-0. Field position is here on the 31. So 31 plus 10, that's 41. 41 plus 5. Talking about a 46-yard field goal from here. So that's where you are field position wise. And again, let's watch Dylan Sampson. He's right here. All right. So my thing with this play is I think this ball should have went to Dylan, right? So right here, he gets to the top of his drop. This is a clean pocket. In the NFL, this is a clean pocket. You're expected to step up in this situation, right? Can't evade it because look at how much easier He makes the life of Jack Conklin's men, right? He just runs himself right into a pressure here. Got to get to the top here. Got to step up. Know you have that guy coming back over the middle. Just throw that route. That play's there. And look, Dylan Sampson's dynamic with the ball, man. You get this ball on time to Dylan Sampson, he has proven time and time again that he might be able to do something with that, right? He's a dynamic guy. But you don't give him that opportunity. You roll into a pressure, you throw a ball out of bounds, you're in 3rd and 10. Where you could have at least been at like 3rd and short. Again, we could look at it from the end zone angle, right? He's open. Yeah. We could watch Dylan here. Great job. Outside, back inside. He's open. A lot of space. Easy throw. Good job by the coordinator. Got to do your part as the quarterback here, right? This is not enough in this pocket, right? You're 4 on 5. They look like they got it handled. Great help from Luke Whippler here for Wyatt Teller. Boom. That guy was out the play. Like if you're Luke Whippler, you're the line. You did your job here. Look, 56 knocks 93 out the play. Boom. But Shedeur brings him back into the play by rolling towards him. You got to just step up here. Boom. They're helping you out. Maybe you take a hit from 92 in the pocket, but that's NFL football. That's quarterback play in the league. But you know what? You get a big gain here because Dylan Sampson one-on-one, that's exactly what you wanted. Right there, ball in his hands, going full speed. He knows he's open, his hands up. But at this point, you break the pocket, you can't throw across your body. You know, that's a recipe for disaster. So the play's dead. But it would have been alive. You just stay here, wait for it. You had the time. Quarter 2, 13 minutes left. A little motion. So this is 3rd and 15. Now, this is a double whammy here because on 3rd and 10, Shedeur snapped the ball early and ended up getting a illegal procedure penalty. So you're minus 5 yards where you should be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ball should be here at the 31. Now, if the ball's at the 31, let's do some quick math here. We just did it earlier, 46-yard field goal, right? It's very makeable. Now you done pushed it back 5 yards. So instead of a 46-yard field goal, now we're talking about a 51-yard field goal. That's bad enough, right? That's a big difference. 46, 50, it's 50-plus field goal to a 40 or under 50-yard field goal, right? It's a big difference there, especially on a windy day. Every yard matters if you're trying to kick a field goal here and get this score up in the second quarter. So you make that mistake here. 3rd and 15, long shot to convert. Let's just get the ball to one of our checkdowns once you see that they're quarters top. Like they got 4 guys back. They're not going to let you get anything deep here. Cool. You have everything underneath here, though, right? If you're Shedeur. You got Dylan Sampson again. Get it to your dynamic running back. Let him go downfield. You can let David Njoku try to be a bull in the china shop here. Hell, if you feel like you can fit it in fast enough, you can try to get this ball to Harold Fannin. You know, let's say Dylan Sampson, he gets to the 30 before somebody tackles him. David Njoku, let's be generous and say David can get, I would say David probably can get. If that's a DB, he might break that tackle and get a big gain here. But let's just say 30, right? So you could get this ball right here to the 30. You get the ball to the 30. Yeah, you're talking about a 45-yard field goal, which is makeable in the NFL, even with harsh wind conditions, right? It's a makeable field goal. It's not a guarantee, but it's makeable. It gives you a chance here. And you're likely to kick that field goal because if you don't make that field goal, you're only really giving up 10 yards of field position for not punting, you know? So you're going to at least attempt the field goal here. Instead, you take a sack. I mean, the field goal's done at that point once you take the sack, right? 52-yard field goal, 52 yards plus 10, talking about 62, 68-yard field goal, NFL record. In terrible wind outdoors, yeah, get out of here. You're never getting that. You know, but another example, just like, hey, there's some opportunities here for him to manage the game a little bit better. He's got to take them. And I know we could say, oh, yeah, the pressure here. Jack Conklin did a shitty job, but you know what you're going to see. You know what you should anticipate. Once you confirm that it is what you thought it was, all right, man, let's just throw this ball to 22 and move on with the game. You don't got to hold, and turn a bad situation into a worse one. Now, this is on the next drive where Shedeur does a great job here on this play. Right? Not so great right there, but I like that, they ran the ball a million times in the ensuing drive. And then he did a great job coming back from that and then making a good decision here, right? Ball on the 35. Right here, he sees it, right? This is good anticipation. Sees Harold Fanon about to go here and nobody really there, right? Everybody's worried about this guy deep. Everybody's worried about underneath David Njoku. He's worried about that. He's worried about that. Nobody's really worried about Harold Fanon, and 57 actually loses Harold Fanon right here. Sees the void, throws it with anticipation. Good throw, good catch, touchdown. Really nice stuff. That's what you want to see. And a really good job of him doing what? Stepping up in the pocket. It's amazing what can happen when you buy yourself time without going left or right, but going forward, right? Look at this. Nice. Top of his step. Clean steps up. Good throw. Oh, it's amazing. Love it. Love it. All right. So that's the stuff I want to see more of, right? If it sounds like I'm being harsh on him, it's because he shows that he's capable of doing it at times. But, not enough times in this game where he has the opportunity to do that. He's doing that. So you want to see more from him. If I had no expectations for him, I wouldn't give a shit about any of the breakdown or any of the mistakes he's making because who cares, right? 3rd and 6. Only thing I have about this is, one, you want Harold Fanon to catch that ball, but 2, I wonder what their progression's like here because I think he should have probably took Tillman here, right? Linebacker looks like he's going to go and keep with the underneath. So body language wise, I don't know why he threw it to Harold Fanon, but maybe, out the double. Maybe they just like going the inside one and that's what they're telling him to do. But if you look here from this angle, I mean, see when he gets to the top of his drop here. And maybe he's afraid 59 is going to keep with him. But if I'm him, I'm like, hey, 59's trying to run with Tillman. Tillman's going to outrun him. I think you got it. But it looks like he's trying to bear down on this route right here, so just take Tillman here. But I don't know what the progression is for that in their building. All right, 3rd and 9. Get your heels on the back of the end zone. Cannot do any of this bullshit right here. You're Shedeur. Can't do it. Some of this stuff I'm going to have patience for, lenience for, right? Some of this stuff I don't really have the patience for because it shouldn't be happening, right? Heels on the end zone. You're taking your drop in the end zone, so you know that you need to have a timer here, right? You don't got time here to mess around. First guy you see that has a chance to break something, just get it to him. Another thing here, right? So you're running this action here. If you're Shedeur, you want to look at the hips corners, right? So you're wondering if this space is going to be open in the play. If this corner carries vertical, then you know the play is going to be open. And right now, pre-snap, right, if you're Shedeur, you got to see this. This is a dead indicator that he's going to carry this route vertical, right? And then look at his steps, off the steps, right? The first 3 steps of this corner, you got to watch him. 1, 2, 3. He looks, it's dead giveaway. He's going vertical, right? He's not even hiding it. And then you also have to look at what's going on with the man on the out, right? So your man on the out, pre-snap, again, you want Shedeur to look at all of this. Pre-snap, the man on the out, he's uncovered, right? There's a safety here, but he's uncovered. Nobody in front of him, which means that might be his man here, right? So if you're running a breaking out route and the man is sitting in the C gap right here, and then you see the corner right here, outside leverage, should be a ringing red light here. I mean, not a ringing red light, but a ringing green light here. Hey, get the fucking ball to Jerry Jeudy. But let's say that's just not the half of the field they picked. Okay, let's say you picked this half of the field. Well, actually, let's play out the first one, right? So ringing red light on Jerry Jeudy. Let's see if I'm right on that, right? Jerry Jeudy should get the ball here, given this circumstance. Yeah, he's open. And he has more than enough time to get that ball to Jerry Jeudy. That's a first down conversion. Now, again, maybe he picked the wrong side of the field. This is a pick a side thing, right? Because you want a quick progression here. David Njoku. Again, pre-snap, you can tell they're not playing man coverage. Just run into a zone. You got David right over the ball here. You got David right over the ball. You can get it to David. What you cannot do if you're Shedeur is this. No, can't do that. That cannot go. Right? There are 2 options right in your face on a 3rd and 9. You got your feet in the end zone. Cannot do this. So, you're going to want to ask Shedeur, hey, man, why didn't we like this? Everything pre-snap indicates it, right? Now, again, I don't like for quarterbacks because it's real easy on social media to do this to somebody. Be like, oh, man, he's terrible, right? But somebody might pop open because the defense did something different and there were no indicators. For this route specifically, right, this right here, there are like 3 pre-snap indicators that tell you, right? So before we even get the ball snapped, right, this is where he starts lined up, this DB. He's lined up over the slot, and then he ends before the snap over here over the C gap. Then you have this corner who you have watching, and he plays his hips towards the numbers, which tells you he's probably carrying, or at least he's showing that he's carrying. And then you have this safety who has no interest over the boundary of the field right now, right? He's one high. He's in here. He's watching the middle. He's expecting a run. You snap the ball here. And then post-snap, right? Let's look at the post-snap. Yeah, he was the guy covering, so you can confirm that in the post-snap. Hips wide, carrying, first 3 steps here. You can confirm that in the post-snap. Safety, no interest in breaking. All right. Every indicator in the world that ball should have gone to Jerry Jeudy by the time he looks at it. Really no reason that ball shouldn't have gone to Jerry. And even if you didn't like Jerry here, okay, if you worked here, 1, work here to 2. I don't know why we're not taking this at all. I mean, you got a little bit of a natural pick going on here. So 1 or 2, they're wide open. Again, this is butt booty naked open in the NFL, man. So you got double butt booty naked opens. And your feet are on the O and the Browns, buddy. Get rid of the ball, man. You got to make a decision there. He works back to it. And look, Jerry Jeudy's mad. He's mad as hell. Like he's not happy. I understand. Again, Jerry Jeudy does not have a lot of patience. People don't have a lot of patience for Jerry Jeudy. I understand it, but he's not wrong in this scenario. Like, can he do a better job of hiding his frustration? Absolutely. And as a team leader, he should be doing that. But yeah, I mean, this is frustrating, right, for everybody involved. You got to get him the ball here. You got to get him the ball here. And then look at the end zone angle of this. Look how close he comes to taking a safety here. Yeah, right over the ball. You got to find David right there. But instead doing this, oh boy. You came half a second from taking a safety here in a 17-8 ball game. You know? Cannot do that at all. All right, fourth quarter. So this is another one where Jerry Jeudy was visibly pissed off. And again, Jerry's got to cut that shit, right? He can't just be whining and dining here. It's not like he's had a great season either, right? People could show their frustration with him, but they're running dagger. And Jerry Jeudy does pop open here. Looks like at least on this half of the field, it might be cover 6 because it looks like 4 on this half of the field, right? Dagger's a 4 beater. It's a 4 beater. And yeah, this is open, right? This is open. This is open here. If you're Jerry Jeudy, this is open, right? This is the 9 on dagger. You never throw the 9 on dagger unless you're Jameis Winston and you're a fucking madman. But this is open, you know? This is open here for Jerry, right? Boom, pops open. You got time to see it. You should really be anticipating this and get a nice throw in here. Is it an easy throw? No, but is it the throw that's expected of you at this level? Yeah. Instead, the check down to David Njoku here, which makes very little sense on 2nd and 20 when you're down 23-8. It's a lot of learning on this tape here for Shedeur. But you can see it here. This is before the break, but you can see how much space Jerry Jeudy has on his dagger. I mean, it's not butt booty naked open, but it is open, right? Because he's going to come down crash on this once that ball goes this way. So the window's really right here. But that's open, man. That's open. You can make that throw. And you can see Jerry Jeudy. Again, he's got to do a better job of hiding this. But he's frustrated. And look, I know some people are like, this just has to do with Shedeur. I think Jerry Jeudy is finally showing his frustration after a season of being frustrated, right? Like if you're Jerry Jeudy, if you're David Njoku, you're probably the most upset with the fact that the Browns traded Joe Flacco, right? Like those are the people who you got to explain that trade to because they want a veteran there. Instead, they've been dealing for the last month, 2 months, with rookie quarterback play, whether it's Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and this shit is frustrating. And I think they're the two showing it the most because, especially if you're Jerry, right? You're doing what you're supposed to. This is a dagger concept. I mean, there's no way Jerry's not number 1 on this progression here, right? Especially when you look at the pre-snap. And this is like the 3rd time we've said this, right? But this 3rd time you can look at the pre-snap, see the look that they're showing. They're not really disguising it. You know what the Browns have in. There's no way this isn't one with this pre-snap look. You got to take it. You got to take it there. There's nothing there to get you off of him at 1. And it's the 3rd, 4th time it's happened with Jerry Jeudy, right? Again, he has to be a better leader and a better veteran than to vocalize that frustration with his quarterback as visibly as he's done, especially when we're talking about somebody as high profile as Shedeur. You gotta do a better job of carrying that leadership wise. But this is the stuff that's going to frustrate veterans, and this is why rookie quarterbacks just aren't. Why no veteran is excited about a rookie quarterback for the most part, right? And I don't think this has to do with like Dylan versus Shedeur. I think this has to do with rookie versus vet. You know, and them thinking to themselves, man, if we would have kept Joe Flacco, I would have get the ball here, right? Now, obviously for the Browns organization, it made sense to move off Joe Flacco, but it's not going to be a decision that's going to be popular or make a lot of sense for everybody. And this is why, right? You're Jerry Jeudy, you're frustrated as hell. Now, to be fair, it's not like Jerry Jeudy was putting up numbers with Joe, but you know, that's a different story for a different day. Right here, 3rd and 16 look. He rolls out. And this is where another one where he had a chance here to make one of those, oh my God, Shedeur throws, right? That he did against the Raiders to Isaiah Bond here. So Isaiah Bond's coming across here. I think, unfortunately, the wind is why he can't make this throw. So, you know, if Isaiah Bond gets separation here, and I think if the wind is not going as crazy as it is, Shedeur could get this ball where he wanted it to pretty clean. Unfortunately, instead of this ball getting over towards the numbers more, it gets blown in and Bond has to stop. And then that allows the DB to get back into play. Maybe in a dome, that's a, oh my God, Shedeur throw. Comes very close to doing that. But outdoors, it's just a little bit of a difference, right? Just a little bit of a difference. But I don't mind that decision there. Right. And maybe he can make this throw even with these conditions if he just gets a clean rip on this ball. Because you look how it comes out. I think it's wobbling already. That's the wind. The wind got that one, right? Has to be the wind. But he just doesn't get that one where it needs to. That had an opportunity to be a big play. So a lot more up and down this week from Shedeur. And then you expected that because the 49ers are just a better football team than the Raiders, right? So they're not going to provide as many opportunities and they're going to make things difficult. But I think what was frustrating for Shedeur this week was that there were a lot of opportunities there where he didn't have to do something difficult to make a big play there. And he didn't find it or he didn't like it for whatever reason. You know, that's the thing here with rookie quarterbacks, right? Progress isn't linear. It's not going to go up every week. They're going to have some down weeks, some up weeks. And this was a week where it looked a lot better on TV, but you look at the tape and you have a lot more questions. So, you know, not the greatest week for Shedeur, but we'll see what he does going forward. And the good news is that we're probably going to get the whole month of December and probably a game in January to go look at Shedeur. So we're going to have more opportunities to give him a look. But that's my thoughts based on what he put on tape against the 49ers. Peace.